Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We're getting into Love Island series 11. We are now on episode 13. I am behind, I'm well aware of that, but life has been lifing, work has been working, and I am catching up with everything so far, so bear with me as I get my videos out. Okay, so before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so when you know I'm while I'm doing videos, please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because you know what, I am on the road to 1k. Okay, I'm gonna keep saying that. I am going to keep saying that. Again, I'm grateful to everybody that is coming in and subscribing and watching the videos all the way through. I am so grateful that you like to listen to me waffle the hell on about all this stuff, and I hope that I'm making sense to you all. So basically the guys are still over on the sleepovers, and the other lot are still over in the villas. Basically they're heading back to the villa tonight, so it's their last kind of like day within the sleepovers, so they have to get their shit in order, get their shit straight as to what they're going to do, especially when it comes to Grace and Joey, because we already know them two have already rolled into this coupledom, if I must say, because of the history that they already have. And it was definitely unfinished business between them two, and I think it was something, even though Sam says she couldn't kind of get in between or she couldn't compete with that, I think Sam kind of dropped the ball when it came to Joey and kind of gave in quite easily and stepped back. But I don't know if that was her in terms of self-sabotaging or self-preservation in what was to come. But Sam does send a lot of mixed signals. She does not accept any type of responsibility for how things may have played out. Could have been, in part her fault too. Yes, Joey did some things wrong, but with Sam it could be in part her fault too. She accepts no responsibility. She wants to place all the blame at Joey's feet. But she literally, when she explains things to the girls, she literally just either minimizes things to make it look like that Joey is the one with the issue and not her. So basically you see Sam chatting to the girls, and Sam wasn't Joey's and Joey's wasn't Sam's at the end of the day. They were both still completely open. Yes, they were getting to know each other for 2 weeks, and within that 2 weeks they did kind of get close, but there were certain situations that kept popping off between Sam and Joey, to be fair. And I still will say that there were red flags coming from Sam in the way that she was speaking to Joey, how she was speaking about Joey, and the certain things that she would say in front of Joey's face, and then behind his back it would be a completely different story. Sam is there saying about how she wants to walk, like she should just leave, and I'm like, well, you know what, if you're gonna leave, you're gonna leave. At the end of the day, nobody can really stop you. If that's really what you want to do, then do that, rather than say it just to garner sympathy from everybody else. At the end of the day, to say I need everybody's attention on me, so this is the way that I am going to garner it and the way that I'm going to do it. So it starts off with Joey and Grace, and they're having their chat, and Joey is basically saying to Grace that he still wants to be able to chat to Sam, and he kind of still thinks there's something there. I was like, my guy, don't do the twist and dive now with Grace. At the end of the day, with how Sam's behaving, you should read between the lines and know right now, between you and Sam, there ain't nothing there. If they're both honest with themselves, there is nothing there. They kind of gravitated towards each other because I think in the beginning they liked each other, but I think there were certain things that Sam was saying and doing that was kind of turning Joey off, and there were certain things that Joey was not doing in terms of meeting Sam's need that was turning Sam off, but they didn't say anything to each other about the issues that they had with each other. So this kind of manifested into the fact that, you know what, someone's now come in that has proper history with Joey. It didn't end well between them, but there was still something there that they could still kind of build on, and I think Sam saw that completely, and that's why she took the actions that she took. But my thing is when these girls keeps on saying, oh, I'm not bothered, oh, it doesn't bother me. Clearly it does. Clearly it does bother you, because one, you keep chatting about it like no one's business, and number two, you're showing behaviours that shows you are bothered by the situation that's going on right now, because you just don't know how to handle it. Like, you really don't know how to handle it. And an adult would literally have the conversations as an adult to say, do you know what, this is how it's making me feel. I'm letting you know how it's making me feel and how it's making me look and how I feel about it. What is it that you're going to do about that situation? And have those conversations. But nobody seems to want these frank and honest conversations. But you know what? They're supposed to be all mature. They're supposed to be all of a mind where, you know, we know how to communicate and work these things out. The communication between some of these people is absolutely piss poor. Like, seriously piss poor. All I can say is some of these people up in here just love after love triangles. Love after love triangles. And I'm like, sometimes I wonder to myself, when they get these caliber of people in to Love Island, is it because they're still going to get the same, churn out the same outcome every single time? I'm still waiting for something different to happen. Like, seriously, still waiting for something different to happen, because it's just like, it's the same shit but it's a different day. Like, seriously, that's how I'm seeing it at the moment. But you like can let me know what you think. My thing with Will is, I think he probably saw episodes 3 already, and he made a head-on beeline for Uma. There's nobody else in his peripheral at the end of the day. He literally wants to make a go of it with Uma. He came in there for Uma. That's how I'm seeing it, and I'll explain more as the episodes go on as to why I continue to think that way in regards to Will. So when we're in the villa, you see Kieran going to have this talk with Nicole, and I thought, okay, here it goes, because people in the villa love to put their 2 pence worth into every Ross conversation going. I would say it was good of Mimi to have that talk with Kieran and let him know, you know what, this is what's being said, my guy. You need to go have that talk with Nicole, because if she hears that from anybody else, it's going to be on your head, be it. So Kieran does go and have that talk with Nicole and explains to her the comments that he made to Omar about Grace. Now, instead of Nicole actually listening to the explanation that Kieran was giving as to why he said what he said, yeah, she just blew up completely. And I'm like, this is what I mean about communication. This is what I mean about communication. You hear one thing, yeah, and straight away she was like, that's it. No, I can't believe you would do something like that. That means you fancy her and da-da-da-da-da. No, it doesn't mean that Kieran fancies the girl. It doesn't mean that Kieran fancies the girl. He had a thought in that moment and he shared that thought. Yes, he should have kept that thought to himself. Yes, I don't blame Nicole getting slightly pissed by it, but it ain't that deep. That's all I'm going to say. It ain't that deep. Yes, she's pissed because of the fact that they had the lock-off conversation and they locked themselves off to each other. So with Kieran thinking in the way that he did, yes, she's going to think something else. But again, it's Love Island. It ain't that deep. It creates a mass of drama at the end of the day because you're stuck together 24/7. Yeah? And sometimes some of these people need to engage their freaking brain before they engage their mouth. Like, case in point with Ronnie, he does not engage his brain before he engages his mouth. This man just thinks it and then says it, and then thinks that he can literally talk his way out of a paper bag. Well, he can with Harriet. He can. He couldn't with Jess, but he can with Harriet. He literally can talk his way out of a paper bag with that girl, because for some reason that girl is just continuing to hang on to that man like a limpet. Anyway, so I've gone off the subject a little bit. So Nicole gets angry. She walks off and she's telling Kieran how he needs to crack on with it, mate. And basically just saying that shows how immature Kieran is. And this is what I'm saying. Just because Kieran is the youngest in there doesn't make him immature at the end of the day, because the way how Nicole overreacted to that situation kind of makes her look like the immature one, to be honest with you, because she didn't sit there and, you know, actively listen to what it was that Kieran was saying and ask the correct questions in order to get the answers that she needed. She literally had to go flare up and then go back, think about it, listen to the girls go in her ear hole, yeah, take time and then go back and speak to him. I was just like, you should have done that in the first place. You should have just been cool, calm and collected in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Because not everything needs an extreme reaction. Because my thing is if you're literally looking at this man and he's looking at you and wanting it to work once you get outside the villa, you need to know how to communicate with each other. Because if you can't, what are you going to try for? Like, seriously, what are you going to try for? Because everything that man does, you're literally going to keep going at his jugular for. Yeah, literally go at his jugular for, and then keep bringing up the age and this immaturity bit. There's a lot more into it when someone is mature. There's a lot more to maturity than just your age. Nicole's carrying on with her overreacting crap, and like, you know, some of the girls like Jess and them are feeding into the bullshit. So they're sitting there, and then Mimi turns around and tells the girls, at the end of the day, if Kieran really wanted to kiss Grace, he could have done, but he chose not to, and he kissed Jess instead. So yes, he should, as I said, he should have kept that rubbish to himself, but at the end of the day, he stood true in what he was doing. He kissed Jess instead, and he didn't have to. If he really, really well and truly wanted to kiss Grace, he would have thought, fuck Nicole and kissed her. Do you know what I mean? And that's the little nuances and the little bits that these people don't see. They literally always want to literally jump on the back of someone as soon as they say something or they believe they've done something wrong. And they get on my nerves when they do that. Like, seriously, get on my nerves when they do that. At the end of the day, he didn't act on it. And it shows, as Mimi said, that it shows Nicole that Kieran respects her more. And this is what made Nicole think to actually settle her backside down, to get to a place of self-reflection, then to go back and have the talk with Kieran. I'm just like, you really couldn't have done that, like, by yourself. Obviously not. Not all the time. When you have your girls back or have a person's back who you're friends with, do you need to keep firing them up? Actually get them to step back and reflect in regards to what it is that they're mad at, and then go have that conversation with the person. Stop firing them. Stop feeding into their bullshit. Stop co-signing it all the time. So you're gonna see all of these come back in, and let's just put it this way. When it comes to the sleepover bit and they're all walking back, they're all in lovey-dovey territory. But when it comes to the villa, it's like set on war ground. Like, people have a level of animosity that they want to bring a person's way. So you got Jess, you got Harriet and Sam, who literally are on the warpath for real. So I'm like, okay, here it goes. Here it goes. So you can see that Joey is completely smitten by Grace. You can see that. And you see in the way that he moves through the villa. Now with Joey, the reason why you can tell that he's completely different with Grace to the way he is with Sam is because he's very much more tactile with Grace. He cannot keep his hands off that girl. He cannot stop watching that girl when she moves, each time she moves, how far she's moved away from him. He will constantly gravitate to where she is. And Sam sees that. They all see that. You see Sam give like a greet to Grace. It was cold as hell. And this is what I mean. Why bother doing that? Why bother doing that? Because that's fake as hell. If you are true to yourself, why would you be fake as hell to someone? At the end of the day, if that was me and I'm feeling a certain kind of way about someone because of a situation that they may have caused, I am then not going to go and hug them. Not going to go and hug them in the slightest, because my spirit won't be able to let me to. So I don't understand how you can try and save face like that, because you could see Sam was as miserable as hell. So as you see them all get settled, you see that, you know, it's the split off time. The guys goes with the guys, the girls goes with the girls to try and find out what the hell happened, as they always do. All I'm wondering if Grace is going to let the cat out of the bag in terms of how her and Joey got on and the kisses that they had and X, Y and Z. And then also you've got Ronnie, who was kissing up Tiffany, not necessarily in bed, but throughout the time in the sleepover it was. And I think that's something that Harriet wanted to know too. So basically, you know that Will is very much interested in Uma. You see Ronnie basically telling the lads that he did finish the play. He did like kiss her and finished it with a kiss too. Tiffany is basically sharing that it's early days and she's open, but she did turn around that they did share a kiss, but it wasn't in bed. Harriet did not look happy by that, and I'm just kind of like, my girl, what the hell do you expect? Ronnie basically had this joke in front of you telling you that it was because Tiffany kissed him as to why that game was so good. Like, raw joked that up in your face, yeah? And he managed to talk you round. I don't know how much this man can keep doing to show you he's not to show Harriet he's not interested in her. He's not interested in her. She is literally the proverbial place filler. That's what Harriet is right now. Once he's got things on an even keel with Tiffany and gets Tiffany where he wants her to be, he is going to dump Harriet with a quickness. Let's just put it that way. He will. That's who Ronnie is. He don't want... And Harriet, poor naive girl that she is, ain't seen the signs that this man is putting out. Jess saw them pretty quickly early on, and that's why Jess did what she did. But I think, as I said, Jess did what she did because of the fact that, you know, she was trying to force Ronnie's hand, but that didn't work out for her at the end of the day. But Harriet is trying to hang on to something that just is not there, like seriously not there. So Grace talks to them about how it felt chatting to Joey and that they're getting on, and it's like they've fallen back into how they were when they met last year. Sam was looking everywhere but at Grace and fixing herself up, and I was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna hurt to hear that. It really is gonna hurt to hear that. But I will say that Sam kind of helped in pushing Joey in that direction, and Grace, because she basically said that she's gonna step back and allow them to kind of foster this connection that they have with each other, to see if something is there for them worth rekindling that they had before. She would not speak to Joey. She would sleep out on the daybed. She would literally push Joey away. So rather than fighting for what it is that she wanted, that she says she wanted, she pushed that man away. And where is the first place do you think Joey's going to go? Like, seriously, the first available place he's going to go if he believes that the woman that he was coupled up with for 2 weeks no want him. And this is what I mean by there's context to everything. And Sam, when she's talking to the girls, don't give the context at all. She just wants to blame Joey for the bullshit and the fallout, basically. Joey is basically telling the lads that there is something there with Grace and that she's beautiful and inside and out. And basically he knows that he needs to go and have this conversation with Sam. Sam is there complaining about how she believes Joey has made her look like a fool and how embarrassed she is and all the spiel, yada yada yada. And my thing is on that bit is, that's a Sam thing. It's not a Joey thing. He can't make you feel those things unless you're feeling them yourself at the end of the day. I don't know how he can make Sam feel like a fool or an embarrassment when it was Sam's decision to step back from Joey. It was Sam's decision to not fight for this dude at all, to literally step back and allow things to happen in the way that they're happening right now. I am going to get on to the fact that, you know what, Joey did play a stupid game in terms of when he was on the daybed and he was speaking to Grace and Sam was not far behind. She didn't see it, but the other girls managed to see it, where he just grabbed her and started kissing Grace. Had no thought to Sam in the slightest when he did that shit. No thought to her and how that would have looked to her. So for that, I will call Joey out and say, you know what, that type of behaviour was kind of bullshit and feeds in to the narrative that Sam is trying to spin in the first place. The girls, yeah, not happy. Were not happy at all, and they were kind of talking about it. And then that's when Sam came over and basically said, "Oh, what are you all talking about?" And they told her they did tell her. And I was like, oh, here it goes. And the reason why I say it was bad of Joey to do what he did, because way before he ended up kissing Grace on this daybed for everybody else to see except for Sam, he'd basically talked to Sam at last after, like, you know, she was avoiding him at all costs and he was looking for her and this, that and the other, and she was getting upset. So Joey's basically saying all the guff that the guys always say, that they want to get to know the person, they want to continue to carry on with the person. And basically he's saying that Sam has been pushing him away and making it appear that Joey's actually at fault when he isn't. Not at that point. At that point he wasn't at fault, because he was telling the truth that Sam was pushing him away. He did admit to Sam that he had kissed Grace, and he said to Sam that the minute the bombshells had come into the villa, that she had ruled him out, which again is the truth. She did do that to him. So I believe that in her doing that, Sam was expecting Joey to fight for her, and that's where the self-sabotage came into place, because she was literally playing the long game and seeing, okay, if I'm going to behave in this way, let's see how you take that. So basically it was just one long test for Sam, and Joey was failing at every single point. So Joey was basically telling Sam that there are feelings there with Grace, and Sam was basically saying that she feels ashamed and a bit like a T. But I'm kind of the view that Sam was not feeling Joey at all, because of all the complaints that she kept putting in about this man. She was not feeling him at all at the end of the day, and it was kind of, this whole scenario was just kind of getting on my last nerve, because I'm like, do you know what? You sat there bad-mouthing this man behind his back to everybody else, but then to his face you was making it out that everything was okay. Sam basically pushed this man into frigging Grace's arms, basically, and gave them both a wide open door and said, you know what, do your thing, do what you have to do. And now wants to sit there and say that she was mugged off by Joey, that she feels ashamed, she feels a bit of a tit, she feels embarrassed. Mike, if you wanted him, you should have fought for him. At the end of the day, you should have fought for him, but you pushed this dude away. But now you're mad about it. You're mad that he went and did what he did, and not kind of doing what I think Sam wanted him to do. So he basically tells Sam to stop pushing him away. And I do think Sam needs to work on her own insecurities. Like, she does have insecurities, and Joey compounded upon those insecurities. So she then manages to tell Joey exactly how she feels, in terms of the fact that he didn't give her no physical touches, he didn't give her no cuddles, he didn't give her that, you know, stuff that he's now giving to Grace after 2 weeks, and he's known the girl but a minute after she's come in, and he's given her everything that he didn't give to her. That's how Sam explained it to Joey, which is true, which is absolutely true. So he's basically saying to Sam that if you will let me be there for you, I will do. And then she's kind of contrite, she's saying yes, but nah, you see, when Sam's saying yes, she don't really mean that yes. Basically, she's literally saying yes to get you to frick away from her, to be honest with you, because then in her VC she's mocking Joey and telling him it's just excuses and that he should F off, to be fair, because she don't really want to know anymore. And this is what I mean, say it to the man's face. Like, seriously, say it to the man's face. Don't sit there contritely saying yes to what he's saying when you know full well that you really don't want him. I definitely don't want him after this. And this is why I said Joey did make the faux pas, in the fact that you said this to Sam, that you wanted to be there for her and for her to allow you in so you can be there for her, and then in the next breath you're kissing Grace on the daybed, then you're wanting to spend time with Grace in the hideaway, away from Sam, because you don't no longer want to share the bed with Sam and X, Y, and Z. That's where Joey made his big mistake. Like, seriously made his big mistake. And I can understand that at that point Sam might have been feeling embarrassment and all that kind of guff. But the previous bit, no. This is, it's, at the end of the day, as bad as it seems, this is Love Island. This is how it works. So just before this episode ended, you do kind of see Grace speak to Sam, and they have a conversation about the situation itself. And Grace is saying that she wanted to see if Sam was okay, but didn't want her to feel like that she's being pushed out. And Sam is basically saying that it is a kick in the teeth, and says that Joey didn't handle it the best way he could have. My question is, how does Sam expect Joey to have handled that? And this is why I say that it was a test. All the shit that Sam was showing and doing was a test for Joey, in regards to you know what, I may step back, but I'm expecting you to at least come after me. I'm expecting you to at least fight for me and fight for our relationship, and show me that for those 2 weeks that it was real. How does that work if you don't have that communication with someone in regards to how it is that you are actually feeling, being an adult and having that communication with someone? I know it's damn hard to talk about your feelings and emotions because you don't know if that will be reciprocated, and people are scared of rejection all the time, scared of rejection. But if Joey doesn't know exactly what it is that you're getting at, what you're thinking and feeling, he's not a freaking mind reader. So at the end of the day, when someone's stepping back and saying, oh no, you know what, free reign, you just do what you need to do, see if you reignite, see if you know, come back together, yada yada yada, because you have that history and I can't compete with it. It's telling the other person that you don't care. Do you know what? And that's what Joey did, and that's what Grace did. They went for it because you gave the full on, Sam gave the full on green light for it. Gave the full on green light for it. How else was that going to go? Somebody please tell me, how else was that going to go? At the end of the day, Grace, Will and Tiffany are bombshells up in there, and they were bombshelling the hell out of the place, especially Grace and Tiffany at the end of the day, because Harriet has literally got to beat up her body in regards to Tiffany wanting Ronnie. So you see Tiffany and Ronnie having a conversation, and Harriet is looking and feeling pissed that Tiffany and Ronnie are together and talking again. And I'm just like, do you know what, my girl? Now you feel an ounce of what Jess was feeling when you was doing the same raw thing with Ronnie in front of her face too. So basically, Ronnie's giving the chat to Tiffany, asking her how's it going, and Tiffany be smiling and doing this weird ass sound that she does. So Ronnie basically told Tiffany that if he were to couple up now, there was a recoupling, that he would choose her. I was like, okay, my guy, right? Oh, okay. But anyway, that is kind of where the episode ended. I did lead into the next episode when it came to Sam and the girls telling Sam in regards to what it is that happened between Joey and Grace on the daybed, but the fallout of that happens in the next episode. So I'll be back in quick succession with that episode. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, so when you know I'm on doing videos, please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because yes, I am on the road to 1k, hoping to get there. I am hoping to get there, and I should be back very, very soon across your screens. Peace out.